Just thought of it.
Well, what's up, guys? This is Nobleman Nick. We got Scaper.
Woo!
I don't have a ton of time left with him here, so I'm not going to read all their lore. That's G.I. Joe anyway, so if you guys want to do that, you can look it up on the Renegade site at Renegade Game Studios and go to the story and go to character biographies in the Heroscape section. But we can click and see kind of what they do a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
So we got some art for Cobra Commander. He's got a purple, pinkish, hot pink blade. That's cool. Oh, that's not much to read anyway, but if you want to pause it, you can read it. All right.
His figure looks pretty good. I like the pose.
Yeah, he's got
hair, gun pointed out.
He's got some nice colors. Kind of flashy, but not too crazy.
Yeah.
Fancy looking. He's the leader of the Cobra bad guys. He is a warlord, so this is another one you could bond with the Romans. But if you do, he does have a range, which is nice. For 110, obviously if you're playing Delta, Subakna costs a lot more than 50. So you could end up just doing him instead and having less speed, but more survivability, and if you get up close, you get an auto skull, which is like having 5 attack with a max of 4. So you could use him instead. And then he has I'll get you next time. Basically, if he's going to take wounds and isn't destroyed, you can move him 2 spaces. So
I'll get you next time. Classic. Villain saying come back next time.
Yeah, we'll just quickly go through
Snake Eyes. Everyone always loves Snake Eyes because he's silent, cool, has a big sword.
And his sword looks sweet.
Yeah.
With those little markings and stuff. I need to make one like that. But anyway, okay, he has a short bit of lore too. You guys can read if you want to pause it.
And the sculpt looks nice too.
And yeah, the sculpt is sweet. If you like ninja armies, that's pretty cool. Super cool. Alright, he's from Earth. He's a G.I. Joe. Disciplined ninja. So you could put him in disciplined armies. You could put him in ninja armies, like with some of these other guys. There's a squad of 2 that can bond with other heroes, so you could be moving him and 2 other ninjas in the same turn. And even if you don't, he has 5 defense when you're defending against ranged attacks.
So you can get up there at the one before the kill.
If you're fighting a ranged figure or anybody else who's all on their own, he gets 6 attacks. So you could be a hero killer or a ranged killer or just somebody who wandered off to get a glyph or something. He can go take him off. And he has Phantom Walk, so he can go through anybody. And he has 6 move, which is fast. So for 70 points only, I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I like him. He looks cool. I think he'll be fun to play.
So that's Snake Eyes. We got Destro.
I have a shiny face.
He's got some jewel. So he's got a chain. He's got a metal armor on his head. And he's got a couple guns. He looks pretty cool. This is his little short lore if you want to pause it and read.
He's got a wrist rocket on his figure. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so he has like a wrist rocket looking thing and a little suitcase, which is cool because one of his powers, and the image here shows you one of his powers lets him give glyphs to other people, which is why he's the most expensive bad guy in this pack. These guys that I'm showing you right now, too, the first 8, are all going to be in the battle box.
Yes.
So
if you want any of them or all of them, get the battle box.
He's honorable, even though he's a bad guy. He's a profiteer, and he's got a heavy ranged attack, and he has auto shield against attacks from non-adjacent, even if they're special attack. So he actually ends up getting basically like having 5 defense against ranged attacks. And he's ranged, so, you know. And then he has Gun Runner, where at the start of the game you may place 2 different tech glyphs, power side up, onto the army cards of up to 2 different unique heroes you control, which I'm sure can include him and others. So you can power up your army by having him, which is probably best for the battle box characters, but I mean, if he's allowed in anything, whatever those glyphs can be, you can really power up some of your other characters and make them play differently than usual, especially if they're bonders, as long as you're willing to pay 120. And he has personal arsenal. Once per turn, after taking a normal attack, Destro may reduce his attack value by 2 and make an additional normal attack. So he can attack at it with a heavy ranged attack of 4 and then a weaker attack of 2 if he wants. So he's solid all around. Now we go to Roadblock.
I got a big gun.
He's pretty simple. He's got this little bit of lore for you if you want to pause and read it. And he's got a big gun, yeah. And he's a Joe. He's from Earth.
Creative.
He is a creative soldier, but he is a soldier, so he can be bonded with Duke or whatever. He's better in soldier armies. But anyway, for 100 points, you get someone with more life than usual, some range, higher attack, and higher defense than usual, who's just a little bit slower. So definitely solid, especially if you have him behind a wall of figures. Like instead of Q9, you could pick him because it says range 5, attack 3 for a special. You may attack up to 3 times. He cannot target the same figure more than once, though. But that's a lot. That's like Nilfheim's power, basically, then. But if you had him behind a wall of characters, you could do that or choose to attack one figure with 4, possibly. And he has survivability pretty good with 4 and 6, so.
Yeah.
He's kind of the same way you would play Nilfheim or the Majors with no bonding, though.
Yeah, so he's pretty solid.
And only 100 points, which is way less than those other figures, too.
Yeah.
But he cannot attack the same figure more than once, so the Majors are better in that way, and Nilfheim's better for bonding, but he is only 100, so he's better in that way.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him.
Now we have Duke, who, he's looking to the side there. And he has a little bit of lore. And he's here to make the soldiers worth playing. From the old stuff or the new stuff. Which, obviously, there's like Romans and Greeks and stuff, they're worth playing. But some of the army soldiers normally wouldn't be really that good. Other than Airborne sometimes. But Inspiring Soldier. Like, new Drake on his own is fine as an assassin, but not the best thing you can do. But with this guy, it makes them a lot more viable. But normal survivability, normal move, higher than normal ranged attack, 140 points. Inspiring Soldier. So as GiJoe, the first time each round you reveal an order marker on this army card. Instead of taking a turn with him, you can take a turn with up to 2 GiJoe or soldier heroes you control, and he can be one of them. So you can have a heavy ranged attack with him and choose Sergeant Drake or any of these GiJoe figures. I'm trying to think of what other soldiers you could choose from, but basically it makes the whole soldier army worth doing, especially if like low figure counts maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And he has lead by example, while Duke has a revealed order marker on his army card. Other GiJoe and soldier figures you control within 2 clear sight spaces of him add 1 to their attack. So Roadblock or any of these other soldiers would end up with a heavy attack, and if Drake was near him, he'd get 7 attack. So
it's pretty nice, actually.
So it makes the soldiers a lot better, especially ranged ones. Yeah, her. She is not a soldier, though. Scarlet.
She's got a crossbow.
I heard people say she's really good, especially in the end game, and there's a reason. So that's her lore. There's her figure. So you got a ginger girl with a crossbow. She's a focused operative. She's quick, has some range. Those are all normal for 80 points, so that's nice. And then it says, now you know. At the start of the round, after rolling initiative, when you first figure out who's going first, you may look at all unrevealed order markers on one enemy card. Then you may move one of your order markers from a G.I. Joe or soldier figure to another G.I. Joe or soldier figure you control. So if you have a soldier army or a G.I. Joe army and you have her in it, then you can, especially in the end game when people's order markers are separated, if they have like 2 order markers on one and 2 on another, you can look and see what they are and then possibly know what their entire plan is. And then you can switch what your plan is a little bit.
Yep, accordingly.
So knowing is half the battle. When Scarlet makes an attack, the target figure lowers its defense value by 1 for every revealed order marker on its army card. So as the round is moving on, you could potentially attack somebody who had 3 order markers on them and use them all already if they got to go first. And then if they only have 3 defense and they took 3 turns, now all of a sudden they have 0 defense against your attack of 3 or 4 that you're making on them. So that's nice.
That's pretty good.
And then lethal to the bone. Once per turn after attacking, you may move Scarlet up to 2 spaces and make 1 normal attack against an adjacent figure. So you can move an attack, and then you can move and melee attack, so she can attack twice, once with range, once with melee. And that knowing is half the battle means you could ranged attack somebody, and then you could run up and attack again someone else or the same character. Possibly with that less defense on the figure both times. So for 80 points, she's a nice little assassin who has sort of Admiral EJM1 type abilities.
Mm-hmm. Skull's pretty cool too.
Now we got Storm Shadow.
The White Ninja.
He's Snake Eye's brother in the lore. In the movies. He looks kind of cool. The art looks way better, but he's a focused ninja, so you got another ninja here to choose from. 4 attack, Whirlwind Assault, so you can attack everyone around you, and you have 6 move to get there easily. Doesn't survive that well, but for only 80 points, that's nice. And then Phantom Walk, you can go through anybody or whatever and get right where you want to do the Whirlwind Assault. And he has Nanite Smoke, where he can do 3 times in a game, where he can throw Shadow within 3 clear sight spaces of him after he moves. So, at the end of his turn, so after moving and attacking. So if you have figures like Dro that can use Shadow, or you just want to throw Shadow down for your characters, like if you're doing the Ninja Squad that can bond, you can throw Shadow down and then run onto the Shadow with them and boost their defense. And I think they're the next ones to talk about, maybe. Nope, they're down a ways still. But Dr. Mindbender.
Ooh.
I guess I'll click it.
He's got a big mustache and a monocle, I think.
Yep, he's super buff, and he's got a little tiny gun and a mustache and stuff.
Wee.
And he's got some kind of baton to take your mind over.
Oh.
So there he is. He's got a royal purple cape. He kind of looks like a circus guy, but
I see that.
He's an arrogant scientist. And then he's got some range, higher survivability for only 70 points. And he has a chance at the end of a round, if you reveal X, a figure within 3 spaces, which is a decent range. You can only do it once a round because of the X, but if you get a 13 or higher, which is a very good chance, once per round, you can take over someone for that turn, which is always a really good power. And a little suggestion at the start of his turn, you may move all friendly figures adjacent to him 3 spaces. So in the beginning of the game, you can kind of move your guys up quicker if they're all around him.
Yeah.
And I always forget what she does, so let's see what she does.
Kind of looks like a sniper.
She's got a little Cobra shoulder pad there. But yeah, she's some kind of sniper. There's the lore if you want to read it.
The lore.
There is the figure. And there's her. She's a cruel operative, the Baroness. She's faster than normal with 7 range, so that's like Skahen or the Krav. So she can easily shoot and run and keep running from you. But I don't think she has the defensive power they have, so it's not as good. But high attack of 4 at 7 range, so if you get her on height, you can snipe somebody with 5 attack, 7 range. For 120, she survives fine, she can disengage. She has False Order 16. At the end of her turn, you may choose an enemy figure within 6 clear sight spaces. If you get a 16 or higher, you may look at an order marker on the figure's army card. You may then move that order marker to the army card of another of that player's figures, which is within 6 clear sight spaces of her. So another tricky thing where you can move turns around. So basically she can snipe somebody and everybody kind of runs around in a panic then. But Intelligence Chief, the first time each round you reveal a numbered order marker on this army card. Instead of taking a turn with her, you may take a turn with up to 2 different Cobra or Agent heroes you control. Baroness can be one of those. So that's a lot like Duke, where you can just bond with another Cobra or Agent hero you control. So that means she can bond with Agent Carr, because he's an agent. I think the new one's still an agent. So the new or the old Agent Carr, or Agent Skahen, or... is there another one? I know Nora is Delta, or custom, but any agent heroes like that, she can bond with. So now Agent Skahen's going to be a lot better, because she could be with her, and they could both be running around with 6 move, 7 range. She can be sniping and messing with people's turns, while Skahen is attacking twice.
I like that.
So that is dangerous.
I guess what they call the Baroness.
Let's see. You got the twins. Basically, real quick, their power is... the cool thing about them is it's 2 figures with shared 6 life, which is a first time thing. And I'll click it again, I guess. So there's that. It looks pretty cool. They're kind of part of the bad team. There's their lore. There's the front. Entrepreneur entwined. So they get to move fast, they get some range, normal there, higher than normal, lower than normal points, kind of. So that's nice, and basically they share lives, so as soon as one dies, the other dies.
Or one takes wound, they both are taking wounds.
Well, that doesn't really matter, except if someone's targeting them.
Yeah.
That can increase their attack when they're wounded, but... bankroll at the start of the game. You may choose one unique hero in your army for this game. That figure's affiliation is Cobra, regardless of what it says. Ooh. So you're paying them to be on Cobra. Interesting.
On my payroll, and this is bankroll.
Business operations. After a Crimson Twin attacks with a normal attack, you may move another unengaged Cobra figure you control up to 2 spaces, which means whoever you picked or other Cobra figures. So that's cool.
That's good.
That's something. G.I. Joe.
Lady J.
Lady J.
I have a spear.
There's her lore.
They are pretty short, all of them.
G.I. Joe. Soldier, daring. So this is another soldier that can be bonded with. 6 move is fast with some range. Those are normal. With 5 life, only 60 points is nice. I think she can only attack once, but that's all cool. Motorized zipline at the start of the game. Start the game with 3 zipline glyphs before and after moving normally. Before or after moving normally, you may place... Oh, sorry, before and after, meaning you can start your movement, lay a zipline down, and then when you're done moving that same turn, you can lay a zipline down. That's what that means. On an empty space within 1 clear sight space of her, so it doesn't need to be under her either. And what the zipline does is you can get on the one glyph and zipline to the other glyph, which helps anybody's speed during the game. Probably have to be small or medium. I didn't read it, but Master of Disguise 14. The first time she is targeted from an attack by a squad figure, if you get a 14 or higher, she doesn't get targeted, basically. Which is just like the other pirate hero.
Like, aha!
So she's better against squad figures for that reason. And then we got these two. It's a squad of 2 ninjas, Jinx and Kamakura, which are going to make the ninjas very, very good. Then all the ninjas' heroes are now going to be viable.
And they had a lot more lore this time. Not by much, but
there's
still.
that. And there's that. Earth. Tricky ninjas, like usual. 6 move with 4 range is nice. 4 defense, 2 life isn't very much. But 2 attack, that's also low for 90 points. But they're kind of the thing that puts all the ninja heroes together, the old and the new. That makes them actually worth playing, probably. Basically, you can bond with, after revealing an order marker and before taking a turn with them, you may take a turn with a ninja hero you control. So that could be Mariko, Shiori, any of the new ones. And you could just have, as long as they're not dead, that once they die, then that wouldn't be as good. But just keep them in kind of a safe zone, I guess. But it makes the ninjas more dangerous.
Which is fine. We all love ninjas.
Coordinate takedown while attacking. Roll 1 additional attack die for each other friendly ninja adjacent to the target. So then they end up getting okay attack. And they got that like usual.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine. Then you got a squad of bad soldiers, Cobra guys.
Yeah, the rest of these guys are all common, so.
So, in this, they come in a pack where that was the end of the battle box. This is a different pack, so. They only have 1 attack and 2 defense for 70 points with range, but you do get 4 guys. Villainous Bonding. Also, you can take control of a Cobra, or you may first take control of a Warlord or a Profiteer hero. So any of these new bad ones, basically, or if you have them in an army that has a Warlord, then you can bond with a Warlord. So they are fanatical troopers, so none of the Warlords can really give them anything that I can think of right now, but you could pick a good Warlord to bond with them. And then you got 4 guys running around shooting and a Warlord going around doing some damage. Like the new Serpent promo figure guy. He could do some damage. And then Coils of Cobra. Cobra troopers add 1 to their attack value for each adjacent unique Cobra figure you control. So if you got somebody running around with them and they stay with them, they can get up to 2 attacks. So better than 1 attack.
True. And then,
but there is also a lot of figures in that squad, so yeah. they might not be in Gen Con because of that.
Pod.
This is one thing they can bond with. It comes in the same pack.
Missiles.
There's a little bit of words for you if you want to pause. Right. A Scout Tricky. So now, if you actually have the Venok Warlord in their army, this Scout can fly and move 5. And then they can bond with the Venok Warlord if they want.
Mm-hmm.
But a little bit of range. Good survivability for being 35 points, I guess, and range. But you get an explosive attack, which most people can avoid, but sometimes they might not. And battle ready before revealing an order marker on another army card. In your army, you can reveal the X here. If you do, move that numbered order marker to this army card and reveal it. So I guess if you find a good time to blow somebody up, that's okay, but otherwise,
like they're just the fodder units.
And then these guys, the Joes.
Green shirts. Wherever there's trouble.
So they get more attack than their enemies, but they cost more. And they're soldiers and they're valiant, so there's some stuff that can go with that. And before taking turn with them, you may move up to 2 unengaged G.I. Joe or soldier heroes you control up to 2 spaces. So it just gives a little movement bonus, not bonding. So the other ones might be better, but they can attack harder too, so I don't know. For the points, I feel like the bad ones are probably a little better maybe, but...
And then the last.
But that gives you a lot of soldier forces. If you want to do a zombie invasion and use them or something. Instead of just the airborne and Drake or whatever. And then they get this.
The battle copter.
You can have several of it because it's a common hero. There's the copter. It looks kind of neat. Earth. A bold scout. Large 10. 5 move with flying is a little good. He has some range. He has, I guess, okay survivability for 35 points. He has strafe special attack, though. So you can... friendly figures are not affected. So you can fly 5 spaces wherever you want, and then you can use strafe special attack and move 5 more. So he can technically move 10 spaces, and 5 of those spaces he's attacking. And you can try to form a line, so if your enemy's not paying attention, you can hit more than 1 figure, which is cool. And then battle ready, just like the other one, you can move the X to him and take a turn, or reveal the X and move an order marker to him and take a turn with him. So
as you want to shoot a straight line or
that was all of it,
it's kind of different between that one and the Cobra one, really. So
yeah, so that was all the G.I. Joe. If you guys want to pause it throughout to read the lore, you can. I just kind of ran out of time a little bit, but
yeah,
it wasn't much reading if you want to do that. But I think this guy's probably better than the bad one, but
yeah,
the bad infantry is probably better than the good ones.
So each other out.
But there's lots of G.I. Joe figures that'll be worth throwing into your armies as long as you don't mind using them with them. And I think in a lot of cases people will allow it.
Yeah.
Renegade may allow it in Contemporary, most likely they will. So you might see some G.I. Joe armies if you go to Gen Con next year.
Woo!
Not sure if I would bring it, but I don't know. But with that, we're all done. So see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.